I'm about ready to unleash. I haven't been this upset in quite some time. And I'm going to go after really poor leadership because it needs to be addressed. Here we go. There is a TikTok, which we're going to show in its entirety. It is a viral TikTok, and it features a young lady by the name of Sophia. Now, let me just point out that I have to assume, and I know I'm taking a bit of a risk in assuming that she is telling the absolute truth. I believe she's telling the truth. And so to the extent that she's telling the truth, I'm going to comment on this because this is one of the most egregious examples of bad bossery that I've ever shown on the show. In fact, I think it is the most. I think it's going to take the cake. I think it's going to beat the moron who fired 2,000 people from his kitchen. But he was the CEO of Better.com. Can you believe that? He took the cake until these two clowns that we're about to expose. So I'm going to interrupt this. I'm going to play the TikTok, and I got the controls here. And I'm going to interrupt this and kind of real-time comment on this because this needs to be dealt with. So this is young Sophia explaining that she was leaving a company and how she went about, and by the way, textbook. Great job on how she did her 2-week notice. Let's watch and listen.
I was just publicly insulted in front of my whole team by my upper management. I've never heard of anything happening like this in the corporate world, ever. Last Friday, October 21st, I put in my 2-week notice with a very heartfelt, genuine email to the CEO and the COO of my firm. It's a small firm, so I know them.
All right, so I want to pause very quickly. There's nothing in the rule book of life that says you have to give a heartfelt 2-week notice. It is a cultural phenomenon that we give 2-week notices. Is it a nice touch? Sure. It's a nice touch to always communicate, and I tell everybody on this show, leave well. But she didn't have to do it the way she did it. But she did it really, really well. Let's continue. Listen into the relationship and what she thought she had with her leaders. Listen.
They're both my management, but also my professional mentors who I've gone to for mentorship. I explained why I'm leaving, which is not even something you owe in a 2-week notice. I'm just simply trying to show that I really appreciate and respect the company and them, therefore want to say something nice. End on a good note. I intentionally waited till after I had trained a bunch of new people and busy season was over before I left.
Pause. Okay. So again, she goes above and beyond, this young lady. Okay? Above and beyond. The very kind and very clear resignation letter to say why she's leaving and saying nice things about the company and these two leaders, that's classy. But she goes above and beyond. She trains her replacements ahead of time. We've actually given that advice on this show to people. Say, Ken, how do I quit well? So she goes and trains people, and then she waits to leave after the busy season is over. This is a thoughtful young lady. Let's continue.
Should have just left earlier. But anyways, on Friday, they call me. Don't give me a counteroffer. Talk down to me in a very condescending tone and are basically just mad that I only gave a 2-week notice. They tell me you need to stay till the end of November.
Okay, pause. Now, couple things. And she's young. She's very, very young. When you resign, you can't expect them to counter you. So just point that out. You need to leave and resign knowing you're going to something better. If they throw a counter at you and it completely addresses everything that you were leaving to, then maybe. But let's not have this expectation, all right? That's to young people. Second, and more importantly, these leaders, they have no say at all as to when she's going to leave. I mean, at this very point, when they call her and say, you need to give us 6 weeks, and they begin to put pressure on you, that's when she can go, guys, I don't think you understand this. I'm leaving. This is my prerogative. I need a little Bobby Brown music right now underneath of me. You know what I mean? But it's her prerogative. She can leave. She could give them 2 minutes notice. Let's keep going.
So a 6-week notice. That's what they thought I needed. They were not taking no for an answer. I firmly said, I'm not committing to anything today. I will think about it over the weekend.
Good for her.
CEO called me that evening to further insult me. I'm distraught because I looked up to both of these men and this is how they're treating me. I thought they cared about me professionally. I thought they cared about me personally. Apparently not. So this morning, Monday, I sent an email just stating to reaffirm my last day will be next Friday, November 4th. So I'm sticking to the 2-week notice.
Okay, pause. All right, now I want to just point out that they take liberties with trying to use their leadership authority to pressure her into giving them 6 weeks. She doesn't commit to it because this young lady, who I love, has a spine. They call her that night after hours. Folks, we're getting into sheer manipulation here. That's all this is, okay? This is straight up emotional manipulation. It's beyond the pale. I hate using the word bullying, but it is bordering that. Depending on your interpretation, it is that. But I'm telling you, it's way unprofessional. I'd hate to be in a relationship with these two clowns. Real life relationship. Holy smokes. You're going to treat somebody like that works for you that way? How do you treat people you're actually in relationship with? Talk about monsters. Let's keep going.
I did not hear anything from them all day. I sent that probably like 8:30 this morning. I get a meeting invite. 3 p.m., my entire team is on it. My team is 25 people. I was not given a heads up about what this call was about, but I was nervous because why are they scheduling a random meeting in the middle of the day? Well, the call was about me. It was the CEO and the COO creating a narrative about why I'm leaving, which includes I wasn't a right fit, I couldn't take the pressure, proceeded to name people on the call that they know could replace me.
Okay, quick pause. Do you see what's happening here? These people want her to stay, and the way they're trying to get her to stay is bully her. And then when they realize she's not going to stay, what do? They publicly deride her and humiliate her, and they create a false narrative. She has her narrative in writing. Let's keep going.
They're happy that at this company, they can resolve things within 5 days. So I have 5 more days. Again, they've not consulted me about any of this. And mind you, last Friday, they said I need to stay for 6 weeks. Continue to belittle me and my experience and what I've done for the past 2 years that I've been with this firm in front of the whole team. Never once asking me to speak, never once commending me or thanking me for my work, revealing private things I'd said to them in confidence when I needed management and I was struggling to further prove the point that I just couldn't take the pressure of the role. And again, never let me speak, never said thank you. All
right, so this is insecure leadership. You want to get to the source of this buffoonery and bullying and bad behavior? It's insecurity. See, the real response, as poor as it was we need you to stay. Poor management, that's what poor management does. They can't solve a problem immediately. They can't adapt. They got to try to put pressure on somebody until they can figure out a way to adapt. And they did it wrong. But where this thing really went badly is when they realized she was going to stand up to them and leave, they spun the narrative. They lied to everybody else, assassinated her character, all to make themselves look good. Shame on you. I should have called you up and fired you, leader.